Hello, my name is Alexander Javier Hernandez, and today I will be doing my first entry to my blog. So pretty much, like I mentioned, my name is Alexander Javier. I was born in Flushing, Queens, New York, to two Salvadoran parents. My whole family is pretty much Salvadoran, apart from one section of it, which is Honduran. Pretty much my whole culture is Central America, and that's all I've really known all my life. So pretty much my learning experiences with language, I speak Spanish. Spanish is my first language, and I learned English as I've gotten older. Predominantly, it was because of school. My block classes, they were always in English. My music, my art, my PE, my health, always in English. So I always had a basic sense of the language, but I didn't really start learning the technicalities and like the grammar and all that until I was in fourth grade. That was when my bilingual classes turned into monolingual English. So pretty much, like I mentioned, I just spoke Spanish for the most part, and I grew up here in Alief, Texas, in Alief, Houston. So pretty much here, everything is just amazing just because of the many different cultures that we get to experience, and it helps you build tolerance to these cultures, and it also makes you sympathize with them, because then once you start talking to people and once you realize like the cultures aren't really that much different at all, and the languages are very similar between each other, and just talking with people, you get to realize these things, and you kind of get a small grasp of different languages, and it's just something that I find very beautiful. And that's just how it's always been. I'm able to kind of break down apart different languages, like languages such as French, Portuguese, Italian, that are very similar to Spanish. I'm able to kind of piece together and kind of understand, maybe not have a full conversation in that language, but I'm able to answer in English and kind of carry on. When it comes to my studying of different languages, the only classes I ever took language-wise were Spanish, and from what I remembered, they were very by the book, and it was always guided by the textbook. You would try to make corrections to the teacher. They would always tell you, oh, is it on the book? If it's not, then we're not considering that. And it was just, stuff like that. It was very book driven. I don't remember using technology almost ever, even in the high school course that I took. It was just always by the book, worksheets, maybe do like a PowerPoint presentation up on the board. It was just like that. It was very teacher focused. Didn't really involve much student and teacher not participation, but communication. So for my teaching philosophy, I am very big with the interaction between the student and the teacher. I think that it is very important as educators to connect with these students as much as I can. I am in a very privileged position. I am back at the school that I attended as a kid. I was a Kennedy Cougar from 2005 to 2010, and now coming back from 3 years ago, it's just been an experience that's been surreal. Just having that connection of being here first and knowing some of the teachers that are now teaching these students. Some of them have taught me, some of them just knew me from back in the day, and just having that connection has been unreal. Knowing where these kids eat, like knowing where these kids shop, them seeing me outside, just having that connection really builds something very strong. And it's not only for the students, but also the parents. The parents really appreciate that you've come back. Parents really appreciate that you're willing to help out the community. And I've just been able to build these relationships that are very strong, not only with students, not only with staff, but also with the parents. And it's built a small community here that are willing to work for each other, and then you're willing to really fight for what you guys believe in. And at the end of the day, I feel like that is what is important, because if you're able to build that relationship with the student, they're willing to fight for you, they're willing to run through walls for you, and they're willing to really work hard for you because they don't want to disappoint you. And likewise, the parents are willing to help you out as much as they can, because at the end of the day, we only have these kids for 8 hours in a day. The rest of the time they're with their parents, and if we don't have their support, if we don't have their collaboration, then there's only so much we can do. They can't have, it's a two-way street, So I feel like that is very important to me, just being able to have these relationships. And I'm very huge on, like, you know, building relationships outside of school, always asking people how they're doing. I call it being the best stranger you can be, and just, you know, building off that and making changes. And like, you'll never know what a smile can do to someone. You never know what a how are you can change someone's input in life. And just, you know, being kind, being the best person that you can. And then like these will, how can I help other help ELLs develop their English language skills? I mean, I've been through it, you know. I kind of like went through it, and just letting them know, like, hey, it's gonna take some time, but, you know, I'm here for you. I got you as long as you got me. If you're willing to work, I'm willing to work with you. And just letting them know, like, it's not gonna be like a straight line. It's going to be a roller coaster, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but just stick with it and everything is going to be okay. Just providing them, you know, like the basic breakdown of things. If we're trying to go from the vowels, and then from the vowels we learn the consonants, and then from the consonants we learn syllables, and then from syllables we put the syllables together, and just start, like, you know, little by little by little by little by little, and ensuring them to not get frustrated, because it is a tedious process, but everything is going to be at the end of the day. And I have like this innate sense of having extreme patience, so I'm willing to work all day if it is willing to do so. So yeah, that's me. I'm Alexander Javier Hernandez, and this was my blog entry.